In this TaxSlayer Pro training video, we're going to go through the process of preparing an amended federal and state tax return. Alright, let's look at how to do an amended return in TaxSlayer Pro. Now I've opened up a tax return. This client's return has already been accepted, and he called me up and he said that he received another W-2 that we need to enter into his tax return. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to enter that W-2 into the software just yet. The way our amended program works, there's a couple of ways I can get into the 1040X, the amended return. I can go to number 9 here, miscellaneous forms, and I can select the 1040X. I can go to Form Finder, do a search for keyword 1040X, but 1040X is sitting right there. So the easiest way to do this from the client's 1040 screen, I'm just going to double click on 1040X right there and begin the federal amended return. I'm reminded that I need to have a printed original copy of this return prior to making any changes. I'm going to hit OK on that message. I'm now at the 1040X menu, and I'm going to begin by clicking number 1, Edit 1040X menu. I'm going to do amended return. Hit OK. And again, the way our program works, you notice I have not made any changes to the original return. I have not made any changes to the way that the return was originally accepted. So what I'm going to do is pull the data, the client's data, to the original column on the 1040X. If you print out a 1040X, you know that it has 3 columns to it. So I'm going to pull the data to the original column the way the return was originally accepted. And here I get a reminder that if any states also need to be amended, I need to exit the federal amended return and pull the original column to the state amended return for all states affected. So I'm going to click OK on that message. And here you can see that I have pulled the data to the original column on the 1040X menu. So I'm going to exit this menu, exit the Form 1040X menu, and I'm now back at the client's 1040 screen. Next, I'm going to go to the state return. I need to keep that little message in mind, reminding me to also do the same for the state return. So I'm going to go to the state return, number 10. My client was a Georgia resident. I'm going to reopen his Georgia return. Now we want to keep in mind that different states have different options for their amended returns. Some states have their own amended form. Some states, nothing more than a checkbox in other categories of personal information. Georgia happens to have a little checkbox indicating that this is an amended return in other categories of personal information. But I have not made any changes to the return yet, so I'm not going to check this box quite yet. I'm going to exit back to the federal return. Now that I've pulled the data to that original column on the 1040X, I'm going to add the W-2 that my client called me about. So I'm going to go to the income menu, W-2. I'm going to add a new W-2 here. I'm going to enter in the information on the client's W-2 that he just received. And now I've entered in the changes that we need to make to the return on the federal side. Now that I've entered that W-2, I'm going to go back to the 1040X, the federal 1040X. Number 1, Edit 1040X menu, amended return, hit OK. Now that I've made the corrections, I'm going to pull the data to the corrected column. So I'm going to let the program do the calculations for me. When I hit OK, notice I've got the original column filled in, and now I have a corrected column. Now before I leave this menu, I'm just going to put in a brief explanation. Up here, number 1, questions and explanations. Number 9, explanation. I'm just going to type in client received another W-2. Hit OK. Exit. I'm going to exit back to the client's 1040 screen. And now I'm going to take care of that state return. So I'm going to go to the state return, Georgia resident, going to personal information, number 1. There's other categories. Remember, we had a spot here to mark that this is an amended return. I'm going to check yes, this is an amended return. I'm going to pull the federal explanation forward, exit back to the client's 1040 screen. And now that I'm back at the client's 1040 screen, what I'm going to do is click on number 11, View Results. I'm going to bring up that 1040X, and I'm going to print that 1040X out, get it ready for mailing for my client, and I'm going to do the same thing for the Georgia amended return. And that's how you prepare an amended return in TaxSlayer Pro. Pretty straightforward. The most important thing to remember is don't make any changes on the way the return was originally accepted until you pull to the original column of the 1040X. Then go back, make your changes to the return, pull to the corrected column on the 1040X, let the program do the calculations for you. Thanks for watching.